so small, it's insane. If you made the cut, then you're part of my team. Just like bowling at pike, all strikes don't gutter. Attracted to the mind, but I like mine's hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too, no butter. I wonder how she age. Look at her mother. My favorite color's green, but I'll settle for blue. Check until I can't see, I'm only 5'2". Who the fuck made this shit on that track? Meaning if I'm on it, yes, this shit slap.
Hey, welcome to my channel. I am Mrs. Best. We are here to recap Love After Lockup, the season 5 finale. By the by, little side note, to those on Facebook, I have been having issues with Meta, whatever the fuck they call themselves, muting my music. So if you watch my song reviews, we will not be having those to air on Facebook anymore because they are muting the music and it defeats the purpose of sharing the music. I'm tired of Facebook and Instagram, so I've been focusing on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. It's better that way, y'all. But we are here to go over Love After Lockup. I hope you were able to hear the opening theme. If you were, the song is called Let's Fucking Collab by Also Best and Be Money Be Manifested. One is my very good friend and the other is my husband. Hey, boo. Happy birthday, belated birthday to Also Best. That is why I was out of town. And this recap is happening on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. I went to Mexico. So buenas noches. I am back. If you are a fan of Married to Medicine, my good friend James Jackson is also live right now to go over the episode. So I encourage those to go watch it or catch the live replay, whatever it is you may choose. Let's get into it because I got a lot of shit to say. I'm going to try and be nice, but you know, I'm going to do the best. And please excuse my little virtual background. I know it's a little movement. I got suitcases and shit still out. I literally just got back to the country yesterday. So, you know, I didn't want to wait too long. But next week, all recaps will be the same. Starting on Tuesday, we'll get back to our regular schedule. So this was the finale of Love After Lockup. What I'm going to do is what I do for every episode. We'll go over each couple and what happened with them for the entirety of the finale. I will also give updates that the show gave, as well as updates that I am aware of based on my research, what I've seen online, people, you know, giving me tea and things of that nature. So let's get back into it. I'd also like to say happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to everybody who is around. I believe our next holiday is Hanukkah. Hanukkah. It doesn't matter if you are that religion or not. We acknowledge all holidays on my channel because they each have meaning to different people. Anywho, let's start with Joy Nomi and Red, aka Joy No. So last we see, Joy wanted that man out the car. Her big ass was growling at him. And he finally got out the car. You know, she's crying and all of that. And, you know, she left. So he's waiting on Joy. He says, you know, I think she'll get over it. I think she'll come back. Due to cheat the way that he cheats, I'm sorry they have a feeling and thought that she'll come back. I also think that he intentionally looked for a bigger girl. No shade, but they tend to be more forgiving sometimes. I know that's bad to say, but it's true. Basically, production ask if he's going to tell Joy that he had sex with Julie. Because he's like, I love Joy and I want to be with her. I'm going to keep begging. And he says that he would never pick Julie over Joy. But you did pick Julie over Joy when you chose to ignore Joy's feelings and disappear with Julie, have Joy looking for you. Then you took Julie back to the hotel that Joy paid for that you shared with her to fuck on Julie. And Julie looked like a crackhead. I'm sorry, she did. She was missing teeth. The teeth that she did have were like going from yellow to orange. Her eyebrows, she just looked like a crackhead. At least how the crackheads look here in the Bay. So he says the sex wasn't that good with Julie. And then we see Joy Nomi and she's crying, talking about her son calls him dad. That's on you, bitch. Y'all bitches is stupid. Y'all bitches think because you have kids that you have intelligence. It doesn't take intelligence to have a child or responsibility, especially if you're having them with somebody you shouldn't be having them with. This girl cheated on Red. That's the baby she had cheating on that man. Why would you tell your child to call a man that you never even cared to visit in prison dad? You didn't even care to visit him. So why are you having your son to call him that? She's a terrible mother for that. And I don't care what nobody says about it. That's hella irresponsible. Because then your son gets emotionally attached and you have to explain why this dad is no longer around. It bothers me. So she's talking about how she wants better for her child. She doesn't want him to grow up around fighting and arguing like she grew up, which may be why she makes the choices that she makes with men, because broken people usually come from broken homes. And here's my thing. If she actually wanted better for her child, she would find out who her child's fucking father is and give that person the opportunity. If you want better for your child, you would figure out who their dad is. There's 3 different niggas that nutted in you, Joy. Which one was it? You only got 3 people. She don't even need a full episode of Maury. She just needs to figure out who it is. It's just 3 people, but I think it's more than 3 people. Because if it's just 3 people, you can figure out who the dad is, probably by just looking at them. Just my personal opinion. So I don't feel bad for either of them. Red, you're stupid for cheating if you knew you wanted to be with this person. Joy, what the hell did you expect? You cheated on him. You couldn't have possibly expected to be treated with respect and like a wife when you couldn't act like one. So I don't feel bad for them. So basically, she's driving home and she says she's not coming back for him, which we know is bullshit. And he is begging her. I'm in disbelief because they're just both slow as hell. They don't seem smart. She's in a hotel 5 hours away. And she says that she has to think of her son and that she loves her son. So Joy's dumbass thinks of someone other than her child, thinks of the dick again. That's why she got the child. And she goes back to Red. They're both so stupid. I'm trying to be nice with my words, but I don't think I can be nice. My husband talking about talk your shit. The emojis look funny. It's true, though. It's so true. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Anywho, he begs for Joy's dumbass and she returns back to him. And they just kept, I love you. And, you know, I want to be with you. And I have to think a sway. Fake as hell. Whenever couples say I love you that much, they're not going to last. If you know, that's just my opinion and observation. So, you know, before they go to New Mexico, the land of nothingness, but great sunsets and hot air balloons, we then see they go to a rec room. And the rec room, for those who don't know, it's like you put on all this stuff. I've done it before, and you get to destroy shit. I guess in their little brains. They have big bodies with little brains. And I guess with the big body maybe causing some swelling or hold on the brain too much, they thought, let's just go to a rec room. That's going to solve all of our problems. They go to the rec room and she's breaking shit, crying over infidelity, over her infidelity, saying that she's insecure. So it's like, if you can point out that your insecureness is why you were not faithful, then you know what you're doing. And therapy won't help you. You're just a shitty person. And I feel that way about Joy. But she still doesn't know when breaking stuff, she's trying to get, you know, stress off her chest. And he still ain't told her he fucked on crackhead Julie. So I'm like, damn, he's going to have to get a job and pay for another rec room for them. Because when she finds out about Julie, Joy's going to get to grunting and growling. And that's just that. I mean, where will he go? She lives in a trailer. Where is he going to go? In the middle of nowhere. She lives on a reservation. So I'm like, where will he go? I don't know. It just doesn't seem smart. Not a lot happened with them this episode, but as a whole, I hope to never see them again on TV. She's a horrible example of women. If how you talk about and cry about wanting to put your son first, but then you end up putting the man first. Kids will always remember their moms having different men in the house or choosing their men over. I just don't understand it. So that's all we see with Red and Joy. The show ends, and what we see for the update on Red and Joy is that they were together and they intend to have a baby together. But we know that that did not happen because they are not together. Shout out to the Love After Lockup Facebook group. They are no longer together today. I'm not surprised. I think Love After Lockup needs to go back to how they did things seasons 1 and 2. You know, with Andre and Lamar, Brittany and Marcelino. I don't want Brittany and Marcelino back because they got used to being on TV and start having fake storylines and bullshit. But as for how they used to find couples. It was more realistic. Now the show is extremely popular. And I feel like any Joe Schmo is applying for the show, or people are purposely talking to inmates for the goal of being on this show. That's how I feel. Joinomi and Red are a disaster. I knew they would never last. They're both nasty, and they're both lucky to not have STDs for how they move. Moving on to the next couple, Chelsea and Mikey. So Chelsea and Mikey are okay. They're okay. Chelsea, I still stand by the fact she's emotionally immature. Just because she can't hear doesn't mean she's not a bitch or difficult. And he drives up to Ohio to see her from Kentucky, and she's nervous to show her house, and her kids are going to be home soon, and Mikey is there, and he's going to get to meet them. By the way, Mikey was in shape. I see you, Mikey. He's in shape. I'm looking at this guy, and some girls have been pointing it out on the internet. Why is he with this girl? He can do better. I don't like Chelsea. I used to like Chelsea, but now I look at her as like an irresponsible mom who's probably getting high or something in the background. And there's a reason why I say that. Somebody pointed out to me on socials that Chelsea's son aired her out recently for like allegedly being a crackhead and having all types of dudes in the house and just being an awful person. So it doesn't surprise me based on how Chelsea acts. She seems spoiled as fuck. All her kids come in, and I'm kind of curious if she warned them that he would be there. I mean, they all know him, but I'm curious about that. Mind you, they show her kids, but only one of them actually lives with her full time. I know the father of her kids has primary custody of the older one. So, you know, he meets the children and he explains why he can't come to Ohio yet because her daughter Audrey just asked. And he explains he's on parole. He's very honest. And the kids say to the camera, they're like, you know, our mom has had a lot of men in and out of the house, and she's let some of these men yell at us and treat us like shit. I get it. My mom did that. No, like, it's just the fact. She would sleep with any fucking Joe Schmo who would pay her mind, move them in. And, you know, unfortunately, some of my siblings, myself, have had to deal with almost every kind of abuse you can think because of that. So her kids are, you know, concerned. Chelsea's kids have this concern because they've gone through that. And, you know, right when she says that, her mom then notices the police are at the house, and she thinks they're there for her son, not Mikey. And I'm like, what the hell? Your kid, the police are at your house for your 15-year-old son? Like, he looks like a sweet boy, but what did he do? So the next thing we see before we can find out anything is Mikey's talking to her son about how he's had trouble with the law and whatnot, and how it's not a good thing to get into. And Chelsea's friend Beth then comes in, and she questions Mikey. And I'm tired of Chelsea's friend because I feel like she's the friend that just enables her and agrees with whatever Chelsea says. I don't think that's a good friendship. If you have to agree with everything your friend says in order to have a friendship, they're not. I actually ended a friendship recently with a 24-year-old idiot because the bitch could not like hear any type of feedback, or if she heard what she didn't want to hear, she fought people from her mama to her sisters to her fake ass man's family because she couldn't understand she was a side chick. But that's another story. But you know, I just don't like people like that. You can't always just say yes to your friends. Sometimes being friends and caring for someone is telling them what they may not want to hear, and that's okay. So, you know, her friend questions Mikey. And in my opinion, Mikey's too good for Chelsea, Joe or not. He seems honest. He wants to do things right. He is talking about how he wants to be there for her children, support them. He's willing to leave his child to live with Chelsea and all of that. And Chelsea's done nothing but be an asshole and a bitch and hide secrets and money from him. So I don't like Chelsea too much. Her friend, so Chelsea, when Mikey goes up to see the room, because her youngest son, Trevor, is giving him a, you know, tour of the house. And that house was situated interestingly. But while she's giving the tour and Mikey's away, she talks to her friend and she's like, he's great, but, you know, he's asking where my money comes from. And her friend, of course, is just like, well, why is he doing that? And I'm like, the friend needs a life. Get a life, girl. And, you know, my thing is with Chelsea is How is it that you can't tell him about your money or where it comes from? It's not like he's asking for access to it or asking for your debit card PIN. He just wants to make sure that you're not getting money illegally because you're emotionally immature, you're selfish, and you keep a lot of secrets from him. And so he wants to know where you're getting the money to protect himself. The other thing is, if you can't trust this man to know where your money comes from, then how are you able to trust him around your children? That's stupid to me. Like, parents pick and choose when they want to be responsible sometimes. I can't understand that. So, in my opinion, something is off with her, and her friends seem shady as well in some way. So we did see that the children are sick. I saw Pepto-Bismol. I guess they were all sick. And it's probably from that damn fried chicken she ordered, because I don't expect Ohio to have the best food. I'm just keeping it real. And that's where she was. What's up, XO? He said, I'm about to roll up and watch you. He means I'm about to get high and watch Mrs. Best talk shit. Go stream XO Avaka. He is an artist. He participates in our song reviews. We will be featuring him and playing some songs from him this Thursday when our song reviews come back. Go stream his music. Very, very talented young man. Very, very talented. Very talented. And to anybody who's under 25, he's available, women. He is available. This isn't my house, XO. He said, nice house. I'm using a virtual background. I just got back from Mexico. My house is a hot mess. So I'm not trying to have y'all see my house till I'm unpacked. XO also says his pinky is currently extended. Fully extend my pinky before we throw it back. Hey, who am I quoting? Anywho, getting back into it, Chelsea and Mikey irritate my soul. They did. Well, Mikey irritates my soul, not Chelsea. I just think she needs to grow up. I think she cares about him, but she's definitely feeling away and has trauma from previous relationships. I think that she also might have some recreational activities she shouldn't be into that affects her mindset. And she also has trauma that she experienced, which I get. I'm a sexual assault survivor. I don't say victim because that nigga ain't victimized me no more. But I get how that can impact you. There is a time when Mr. Best was like, oh, why is this girl like this or whatever. You have to explain stuff. It does impact you. So next thing we see is freaking, I lost my note. We see the two trying to go on a date. Mikey wants to take her on a date when the kids are sick. He wants to take her horseback riding because he came to visit her for that reason. And, her friend Gio is going to watch the kids. She's known them since childhood. Very good friend of hers. So Corey, who is her son, is supposed to have court. And she finds out when she's in the car driving with Mikey on their date. And she finds out because her son's probation officer hit her up like he's supposed to be in court. And she freaks out, goes to the courthouse, and she says that she never got the paper. I call bullshit. Irresponsible people always fucking say, I didn't get the paper. So you mean the court is able to mail this paperwork to thousands of other people who receive it, but you couldn't? And even if you didn't get the paper, his PO reminded you. So that means you could have talked to the PO. Teach your son some responsibility. Make sure he knows his court date. Listen, when I was her son's age, I was a little bad. Mrs. Best went to jail and, things of that nature. Got sent to the Center for Discovery. It's like a place for bad kids in California. Like I was terrible as a teenager. I did everything except for bad grades and sex. I did not have sex and I did not have bad grades. I actually had a 4.7 GPA in high school. So, but I was bad. I would go to jail for like fighting. I used to fight people and take it too far. And then you get taken away, get 5150, stab my stepdad. There's some things. I am proof that therapy works. Therapy works. Anywho, XO says I never took it. I'm not the jail type. My temper is really, really bad. And I think like growing up in East Oakland and all of that, like people look at you, think you're innocent and then try to fuck with you. I don't have time. Or somebody would want to fight me. Oh, my boyfriend likes you. We got beef. It's like, I don't even want your man or know him. It was back when I was younger. As an adult, I am reformed. I'm a good person. I don't fight anyone. But I do understand why her kid could get in trouble. So, her son missing court, to me, that's on Chelsea. She is the parent. So it's like, why wouldn't you know when your kid has to be in court? Didn't make sense. He said therapy and a little bit of magic grass could make you change your life for the better. This is true. This is very true. So they go to the courthouse, and Chelsea runs in the courthouse. And while she's in the courthouse figuring everything out with her son, Mikey, who's on parole because he just got out of prison, is nervous as hell. He's looking at sheriffs and police officers. And I know police are there to protect and serve, but like, they're obviously not doing their job right, because it doesn't matter what color people are. People don't want to deal with them, don't trust them, and they're problematic and they abuse their power. So I think they're doing something wrong. How can you protect and serve if people are just like afraid of you? I don't think that works, but I'm not here to change the world right now. Anywho, Mikey feels triggered being by the courthouse, and I can understand that. Then he seems annoyed. He's like, it's always something with Chelsea. I can't get to the date. The stuff happened. The day sucked. And, his frustration is real. So, she comes out and she seems more concerned for herself and her drama than she does for Mikey, per usual. And we see them go home, and they say, fuck the date. So fast forward to the next day. He's at a restaurant and he's sitting there, and this chick is 30 minutes late to come see him. And I guarantee you her reason for being late was probably the same reason she somehow missed her son's court date. And I know that people going to talk shit. Now, Chelsea is deaf and Mikey speaks sign language, but Chelsea is deaf. So they are having an argument in this restaurant because she shows up late. And he brings up trust because he's trying to make a decision like, do I want to move my life from Kentucky to Ohio to be with this emotionally immature purple-haired bitch? And that's a vital question. He's like, I have my own daughter and family to think about. And he doesn't know if he wants to do it. So he's like, do you trust me? She's like, yeah, I trust you. And of course she didn't say it because I don't know sign language, so I can't, and I'm not about to pretend. All I know is thank you and the claps and think I love you or something. I don't know much sign language. My sister has a degree in that shit, but I don't know sign language at all. But they're having this, like, he brings up the money and trust because she came into like over $5,000 and she just got cut off of her Social Security benefits. Her EBT got cut. So she's like, I don't have food stamps. I don't have any of this. How are you on EBT, but you got money to be sending this fool to take care of him, to visit him in jail, to get hotels and all of that? So her benefits are cut because, for those who are unsure, she's on what I believe to be SSDI, which is SSI, but it's not paid to her. She has a payee, which it sounds like is her dad. But I only know this from being an operations manager, hiring staff. That's what I've done for over 10 years. So I know that when I've had employees that are on SSI, SSA, or SSDI, I've never had one that could work more than 30 hours. There's like a limit that you can work. Someone says they burnt their pinky hair on a candle. You have hairs on your pinky? I don't have hairs on my pinkies. There's no hair there. Should I be growing hair on my pinky? I'm not going to like grow it intentionally, but I'm sorry your pinky smells like butt. If only it smelled like the candle. Anywho, but basically, the money that she has been weird and reluctant to tell him about. He gets up because they're having a silent argument. They are signing their life away. He's mad. He gets up and gets ready to leave the relationship, the restaurant. And you know a man is mad because he ordered fried pickles. I love fried pickles and fried green tomatoes. I love those types of foods. And he got up and left the food. Like, no matter how mad I am, I'm getting a fucking to-go box. The fuck? I'm going to eat my food. I like to eat. Mr. Best will tell you. I'm the girl you will tell. I like to eat. What we had tacos. I ate clams in Mexico, chicken fried steak, some sort of cracked egg sandwich. I was eating. I love to eat. So I was looking like, oh, this man is mad, girl. He's leaving that food behind. And it looked good. He has some waffle fries. You know, Mr. Best likes to have really big TVs in our house so I can like see things that I wouldn't normally see on the TV. I was looking at that food in 4K, like, that looked good. Didn't even need no dip, right? That's how I be feeling watching the shows. I have ramen too that I've been waiting to eat for a while, but I have all these recaps. But hopefully I'm moving it. Hopefully I'm moving it the hell through. Anywho, Mikey gets up to leave. Chelsea stops him. And I think the only reason she stopped him is because she was embarrassed. It wasn't about caring about him or anything like that. Oh, there's DoorDash in Florida. That's good to know. I kind of want to live in Florida, but not like forever, just for like a year. I want to go to like the Orlando area, maybe. I don't know where I want to be. I'll figure it out. Anyhow, but she stops him. She's kind of selfish, so she stops him for her. And then we find out that the money, because she finally tells him, is from her mother who passed away. She had some life insurance money left. She says, I don't know how life insurance like fully works. I'm not the insurance specialist, and no one who's close to me has passed. Thank you, Jesus. But she has money from her mother's life insurance policy, and that's how she paid bills. I'm thinking that money, because she said she had it sitting in the bank, I'm thinking that that's probably why her benefits got canceled. Because if you have all this money and a job, why do you need government paid benefits? It's just a fact. So we basically see her tell Mikey that that's the reason. And he's like, I just wanted to know. He doesn't want access to your money. Stop listening to your single fucking friend. Like, I think that's the worst thing that people can do who are single, wanting to be in relationships, or in relationships wanting to get married. It's probably best to talk to your friends who are also in relationships or married, and not the ones who are broken up, back together, baby daddy, baby mama drama. It's probably best to talk to your friends who are in similar circumstances as you, because they're going to guide you right. Like, I think that's why my marriage has worked, only because when Mr. Best is fucking up or getting on my nerves, I don't talk to just any old person about that. I talk to responsible people or people who have gone through it. And I know people are like, oh, what about divorced people? I would never take advice from someone divorced, because they didn't make that shit work. So they don't know that the shit that they think will make it work will actually work. That's just personal opinion. I think her friend might need to step out of the relationship a little bit. Anywho, Chelsea then talks to Mike after they figure out the money thing. He's like, okay, one more thing. If I move up here, Hadley, who's his daughter, love her to death, he's like, I've already been taken away from her. I went to jail. So I don't want her to feel abandoned again, especially to watch me abandon her to be with other people. And I agree with that. My dad went to jail a lot. Shout out to my dad. I love my dad. Xavier, he is something else, but he did have an interesting youthhood. He went to jail a lot. He still maintained being a dad, but it breaks your heart, especially if your daddy's growing, your dad goes to jail and things like that. So he says, she already, was taken away from me because of jail. I don't want to further abandon her. And Chelsea says the first thoughtful thing she said for 2 fucking seasons, from Love During Lockup to now: I will do anything I can to make sure that you can see your daughter. And I respect that. I really respect that. And I hope that she means that. So, she was extremely understanding, and they left out on a very good note. We then see Chelsea and Mikey's update, because this is the finale, and we find out they are still together. They have been living together for 4 months as of the show airing. I know that they are still together. They've done Instagram lives together, things of that nature. However, her son did just air out all her drama. So I hope that she does what she can to help her kids to feel better. Just because you want to find love doesn't mean that everyone should be in your house. When you choose to have children and it doesn't work with the dad or the mom, your partner, you need to be responsible. You can't just move someone in because you're in love. Your kids are a part of that decision as well, in my opinion. So I hope that Chelsea and Mikey are able to stay together. But I also hope that that's only if she changes and grows the fuck up, because she needs to. Moving it along, we're going to get to our next couple. Be sure to like the video if you have not already. I greatly appreciate it. And it's a free way to support the channel. It's free. Who don't like free? It's like EBT is free. Moving it along, we then see Brittany and Key Rock. They are our youngest couple. Brittany, we last saw her crying because she's bitching at Key Rock about the kid thing. They are a transgender couple. Key Rock is transitioning. He was born a female, and he wants to transition to male. So he's taking testosterone shots and going through that process. We see Brittany running out crying because she cannot carry a baby because she has only one fallopian tube, and the one that she has is damaged. For those who don't understand why the fallopian tube is important to have babies, you should have paid attention in school. It is not my job to teach you that. But the tube is where the pregnancy starts, and then it goes and implants itself into the uterus. The embryo goes to the zygote, and then the zygote goes to... I'm not getting into all of that. Y'all need to go ask a doctor or pay attention in school. But it is hard for her to have a baby with a damaged fallopian tube. So it would be very difficult to carry. So Q-Rock would basically have to carry. I don't know why she's so against adoption. If this man does not want to transition now, he's probably not ever going to want to go back to being a female just to carry a baby. Adopt. Save a child who doesn't have a parent. You know what I'm saying? Adopt and love that baby. I have friends who are adopted and they are happy, healthy, and fine. And their family treats them like that. So just adopt. But she's not there. She runs out crying about having a family. She just doesn't understand. She's more concerned about her wants. And I think that she has a trauma bond with Q-Rock. I don't think he has one with her, but I think she has one with him. And the reason I think that is because she talked about in previous episodes being sexually assaulted, how her family doesn't accept her, how she rebelled. And I think it's impacting her. Having a baby isn't going to bring your parents back. Having a baby is not going to make your Catholic parents accept your transgender boyfriend. Having a baby is not going to fix everything. If anything, having a baby in these circumstances, while y'all talking about you can't even afford your own health insurance, this is not a responsible thing to do. Having a baby is not just about you and your wants. It's about the needs of that baby. And Brittany is missing that point. So they talk as she's crying. She says they have to plan the baby because, they're not a normal couple. He doesn't know if he wants to have a baby. And she wants to know that he at least wants to have a baby in the future, but she doesn't know that. So, it is what it is. We then see that Brittany says she sacrificed this stuff in the relationship. What are you sacrificing outside of the fact that you can't have a child? You can't call that a sacrifice. You got with him while he was transitioning. That means that you knew that it would be difficult to have a kid. No matter, and I know some people may be mad at this, you can transition all the fuck you want. You are not a natural born male. And if Q-Rock was a natural born male, then this baby issue wouldn't be a big deal. You're still two women in a relationship when it comes to science and biology. So you knew that going into it. So you can't go off and explain that. I think you need to just adopt, Brittany, if it's that deep. So she's also talking about sacrificing. Bitch, how are you sacrificing when he paid all this money for you to go to school and now you want to drop out just because you want to be around him? How are you going to be a mom when you can't even finish school? What's going on, Brittany? She's so young, so I don't fully want to get at her because she's just young and dumb and right where she should be for 23. They then go to his brother's grave who passed. His brother, he has an older brother, his oldest brother, who passed away a year before Q-Rock went to prison. He says that his brother was in the streets and with the shit and had a mental break. The family found out he was schizophrenic, and his brother walked from Virginia all the way to somewhere in the Midwest. And unfortunately, his brother passed away being hit by a train. Schizophrenia is a big deal. It causes episodes of mania. For those wondering why they let his brother walk there, there's not much you can do with that. When people have issues like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, they go into bouts of mania and there's nothing you can do. I do have a degree in psychology, so that's the one thing I can tell y'all. But that was really sad. His brother got out the life, found God, and it looks like Q-Rock is trying to live right for his brother, having to go to jail right after his brother passed. He just wants to make his brother feel right. Now, I know people got at Q-Rock for his rapping. I don't think it's rap because he performed again over his brother's grave. I think that it was spoken word. He seems to be a poet. I've done spoken word a time or two in the past. Not everyone gets it. I'll put it that way. But for some reason, Brittany was overly emotional. She said, we talked about this in jail. I'm like, she's annoying. Girl, that's their moment. Let him have his moment. You support him. Why are you crying? But at least she cares. So I think they'll be okay if she could get past the baby thing. They are still together, and I believe we'll see them on Life After Lockup, which I will be recapping, y'all. I will be recapping Life After Lockup. It premieres December 1st, this Friday. The recaps will be on Saturday, just as Love After Lockup and Life During Lockup were. So I look forward to recapping that. The only thing I'm not excited about with Life After Lockup is we have to look at nasty ass Chevelle and Quaylen. Can't stand her. She's just nasty looking. Anywho, moving along, Rock and Bernier together, and we will see them further. We did see Louis and Melissa. Louis is getting the work started on his dentures. His teeth were damaged. You have to have reconstructive surgery for implants. So he has to get dentures, which were $4,500. Melissa paid for it. She's been butthurt and says she wants to put the relationship on pause because she was mad that he did what he was supposed to do and buy a car for himself. He's working 50 hours a week, and she's still unhappy. That ugly little duckling needs to calm the hell down and be happy that she even caught his ass. And I don't think she should complain when, I don't know what the hell my husband's doing. He's making noise. Apologies. But she's complaining about all these things with Louis. And I'm like, you got him sent back to prison, running up to his work camp that he was at when you should have been leaving him alone. You're stressing him out when he should be focused on sobriety and getting his life right. So he gets his teeth work done, and the dentures do look big, but they're his temporary. It's kind of like when you get a root canal, you get a temporary crown, and then you got to come back for the actual crown a few weeks later. He's not happy. He's feeling very unconfident. He asks for the dental lady's number again, and she gives him her phone number. So he then calls Melissa once he's home, and she laughed at him. He made it very clear he was not confident about his teeth, and she laughed at him. So then he asked, what are you doing all day? What you been doing all day? Since, she lied about going to work, said there was a postal emergency when she should have been there supporting her man to get his teeth done. And, she tells him, don't worry about where I've been. Bitch. If my husband calls me, he's like, what you been doing all day? Don't worry about it. I don't think the man is not going to have that. He's not going to have that. He's probably going to come find me, demand a location, or dip. I don't think he's going to put up with that shit. As he shouldn't. Why can't you answer? And then he commented so quick. I'll be damned. I'm telling you right now. And my man pretty much lets me do whatever the hell I won't. He don't really control anything I do, but he does want to know where I am, and usually just for safety. Nothing's wrong with that. If you care, someone cares to know where you are, I think. So she's like, don't worry about it, Lily. And, then she downs him for absolutely no reason. You're not doing what you have to do. He has a job. He's not going to jail. He's not doing drugs. He's not selling drugs. He's gotten his teeth fixed that he was okay with for you. He's living with his mama. You literally know where he's at all the time. And you left him. He just got all his teeth pulled. He's in hella pain, and you left him alone. And then she downs him for nothing, talks shit about how, because you get to spend time with your mom and get your teeth fixed. It's like, are you really what? Because you get to spend, who gets mad at their husband or boyfriend for spending time with their mom? That doesn't, shout out to Kathy. I love my mother-in-law. I don't have an issue. I'd be telling my husband, call your motherfucking mama. I don't see why you would have an issue with your spouse spending time with their mom. That's their mom. If it wasn't for the mom, you wouldn't have the spouse. So think it through, y'all. I'm just saying, think it through. Melissa is slow. Something is wrong with her, and she's awful. I hope Louis leaves her ass. I hope he leaves that ragamuffin. I really do. So she literally laughs at him. I don't feel attractive. Well, we're a little big. The only reason he's tripping on the teeth is because you said you don't want to be with someone with dentures, have him looking like grandpa. So now he's feeling insecure. You dumped him right before his surgery. He's irritated. You should have been supporting him. Put your shit to the side and support him through the surgery that you're paying for, dumb bitch. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. So he hangs up on her. They stop talking. And then we see crazy Donna. That's Louie's mom with her young friends. She's like, I need you to come get me. He's like, what, you drunk? No. Well, I've had 2 beers. Donna was lit. So Louis goes to pick up his mom, and she has friends that are my age for some reason, and she's like a grandma. And her friend says, they're like, how do you know Donna? She's like, she was best friends with my grandma. Where's your grandma now? Shit. Why are you hanging out with your grandma's friends? I can't imagine hanging out with my Nana's friends. I call my grandma Nana. I can't imagine hanging out with my Nana's friends because I'd be like, well, hello, Miss Patricia. Hello, Mr. Wilson. I couldn't even imagine doing that. That's just very strange. And what's wrong with her friend that she ain't got no friends her age? That tells me something. Anywho, we find out Donna's friend wants Louis, and she's just waiting on Melissa to fuck up and be done so that she could get with Louis. And when Louis comes in to pick up Donna, he sits down, and the friend's like, oh, I heard your girlfriend's a bitch. I'm like, that's how you, if you want him, you probably might want to like give a little cleavage, like smile, like flirt, not like your girlfriend's a bitch. But then again, you do want someone that you can't have, and that's a little concerning in yourself because why do you want him when he got somebody? Girl, Lord, help me. They're just all, what is going on in Georgia? We got Louis and Melissa, crazy Donna and her friends in Georgia. We got Andy and Brittany and their shenanigans in Georgia. Georgia's just like, I don't want to go to fucking Georgia because look at this. And I heard it's hot and humid and shit. No one wants to deal with that. Anywho, we find out through him explaining because, you know, the friend said Melissa's a bitch. I heard your girl's a bitch. And he's like, well, I still love her. That's who I'm choosing. So I'd like you to respect it. I was like, okay, Louis, I see you. And this bitch don't even appreciate the loyalty. He's eligible to leave the state. And he explains he's going to be going to New Jersey to be with Melissa, even though he and Melissa are on pause. I think he needs to talk to Melissa and let her know that he's coming to New Jersey. Because where he going to stay once he out there if her inconsistent ass don't, you know, allow him there? She went from being desperate for a man to having one and mistreating him, and I think that's why she's single. Anywho, Donna's friend was hella forward and wants Louis, but he's okay with Melissa. They are trying to figure things out. They will be a part of life after lockup. I hope that if they're there, that means that we have no Brittany and Marcelino. I'm tired of Blaine and Lindsay. I don't like them. So hopefully we get some new couples on Life After Lockup. But as of right now, that's the update on Louis and Melissa. They'll be on Life After Lockup. We'll find out more then. He's going to be going to New Jersey to be with him. I think that she's dangerous for his sobriety, and I hope that he is able to stay sober and do well. And I hope that Donna keeps her foot on Melissa's neck. I genuinely hope that. Moving it along. This is why I can't have kids, because if somebody treated my son the way Melissa was treating Louis, I'm dragging that bitch. No. Hell no. Next couple, Andy and Brittany, the scam artist of our show. Andy and Brittany claim they're broken up, but we know they're together based on Facebook. I had some of my fans who watch my recap. Shout out to my thugs, y'all. Will send me information. They are not broken up. Brittany actually just changed her name on Facebook because she's tired of people talking shit. No one likes her. She's awful. She blames a relapse on Andy. She says they've been broken up for a few weeks. She says that she relapsed after the situation with Andy. She made that situation a problem. He tried to be with her. He tried to get some cutty. He bought a whole house to be with her. She just was ungrateful because she's a crackhead. She's a drug addict. And we were proven right. She went and used, and then she blamed it on Andy. She said he was the reason she used. But my thing is, if he was the reason you used, then why are you back with him and still talking to him? Wouldn't you want to avoid someone who triggered you enough to use drugs? Brittany? This is why people don't feel sorry for you, Brittany. Nobody does. So I don't believe Brittany or anything that she says. We didn't see Andy fishing with his kids, and they're speaking about Brittany. He mentions that Brittany has contacted him, and then we see Brittany meet with a friend who she used to get high with, and she claims that she's focused on her kids. which we know she's not. She's been saying this from episode 1. If you're focused on your kids, you'd have them. You wouldn't be back using just because of a relationship. You wouldn't even be in a relationship if you were focused on your kids and truly serious about getting clean, if I'm keeping it 100. But, you know, Brittany's full of shit, so I'm going to run through this because I don't even want to give them the time of day on my channel. I can't stand these people. She then says that Andy's ex-wife hit her up, which is true. Shout out to According to Amber. Go watch her channel. There's videos on it. And the ex-wife, when she hit her up, I guess, posted all these messages between the ex-wife and Andy because they're still flirting and has still been together. And they're still married at the filming of this episode. So he was never even divorced. And the ex-wife hit up Brittany's family, all types of people. I still don't feel sorry for her. And, you know, Andy says his latest ex-wife, he's aware of it. But I was surprised to find out this ex-wife is not the mother to his children. I guess the mother to his children is really MIA. So this bitch has the audacity because she got the money from Andy and then dipped and then blamed him for her relapse. But how, if y'all weren't together? You took his money and ran. So then she's like, he still owes me $200. Bitch, he don't owe your dumb ass nothing. If you don't go suck that glass dick and shut the hell up, he owes you absolutely nothing. You weren't with them. She says, I'm going to ask Andy for money because he told me that whether we're together or not, he'll help me with money. And you're really going to take him up on that offer? She has no dignity, no integrity. So she texts Andy asking for money for Gracie. Why does he owe your child anything? He blocked her and does not respond, but I knew when he blocked her that was bullshit. I knew that he probably sent the money and then blocked her, which he did. And she says, well, he would never help Gracie. I'm like, no, it's not his job to help your child. The only person who owes your child anything is you. The rest of us don't owe your child shit. That's your job. So the fact that you would even fix your lips, Brittany, to say he's never helped Gracie and never will. Bitch, you're dumb. You wouldn't have money to be around or to pay for things with Gracie if he didn't give it to you. So, yeah, I think that Brittany is crazy. So she calls Andy a scammer, even though she's the scammer. And we then find out that Andy did send her that $200 and then was like, now you can fuck off. Don't hit me up no more. I'm like, yep. So they are together as of today, but I don't like either of them, and I wish for neither of them to be on the show. I think they're both shady as hell. That's just a personal opinion. I don't expect any good to come from that. They were a waste of time and energy on this show, and she's the example of why you don't trust drug addicts until they've been clean for years. And if you do, you got to see them working the steps, going to meetings, talking to a therapist. You can't trust bitches like Brittany. She's a disgusting, vile human. So I will leave it there. Let's move on to the next couple. This was the fastest finale ever because half of these people ain't together or had issues. Here comes a couple that gave us our reason for the domestic violence disclaimer that was on the show. Sheree and Anthony. Sheree is calling Anthony's mom to come pick up Anthony's stuff. And we find out that Sheree and Anthony had a fight because she says that she felt that Anthony was cheating on her and talking to other women. So she went through his phone and she saw him talking to other girls. Side note, you got to be a low-down dog, nasty motherfucker to cheat on a bitch on the phone that she brought you and the phone that she paid for. Could you at least have gotten a burner or something, my brother? You had to use her means. So they argue about it when he's caught, and he tried to take her phone from her. And she says, I guess he did not realize her strength because he was unable to get the phone from her. So he bites her. She says he bit her on her hand, on her back, and she screamed because she was in pain. Obviously, she was bit. I hope she screamed and got a tetanus shot too, because I don't know what the fuck in his teeth based on the correctional system in New York. Anyhow, he bites her, which is unfortunate. Nobody should be putting their hands on nobody. If you're a woman, you should not be hitting your fucking dude. I don't care how mad you get or what he's done. If you're a man, you shouldn't be hitting your woman. If you in a same-sex relationship, don't hit your partner. Just don't hit the people you with. It's not good to do. Long story short, when she screamed, one of her neighbors calls the police, And she says she didn't press charges, which I think is because, you know, if you people of color or if you from the hood, it's like, listen, we don't want to snitch. We don't want to tell. She was so adamant of saying she didn't press charges, but they showed the police report and she talked to the officers because they wrote what she said. I read that thing. Okay. I paused it and read it. Sure did. Thank you, Mr. Best, for the clear television. I read that shit. You may not press charges, but you gave the police enough information to do it on their own. You knew what you was doing, sis. And you have every right to do it. So I'm cracking up because, mind you, she made a fake marriage certificate and, you know, wanted to be married and all this shit, spent over $5,000 on a party that could have went to paying bills or helping him to find a skill or to be successful. You know, could have went to something smarter. And now they're not together. So I'm just going to say it's good they didn't get married. Now, his mom comes to take everything and it was peaceful. I like moms like that. I feel like my mother-in-law is like that. She is on the side of women, which is women. We need to stick together because these men are stupid sometimes. And when they get in their mode of fucking up, it takes them a while to understand that they are wrong. So I appreciated his mom for like sticking by Sheree. Like, that's not okay. He cheated and he touched you. And the mom held him accountable, which is good. But I also think the mom is the reason he is the way he is. She looked like she might have enjoyed some recreational activities that are illegal. And that could be why he's fucked up. Anywho, because you get it from your parents. We are our parents, no matter how much we want to be or don't want to be. She gets her key back from the mom. I just think Sheree is dumb. I knew it wouldn't work when I first saw this couple. Separate from the stuff that Anthony did, on her end, you have to be concerned about your spouse. You can't have things your way entirely in a relationship. And she just wanted it to be her way, having him on time schedules, making him resumes, waking him up when he could sleep in to do mock interviews. It was too much. Most people, especially men, don't like to be controlled. And a lot of the women whose relationships did not work on this show were trying to control their man. And that's not the way to make a relationship work. It will never work that way. So, you know, she's not going to take her ring off because she's a dumb broad. Here's what I have to say. Women, if he puts his hands on you once, he will do it again. Run. He may be able to change, but he's not going to do that for you because he's already broken that temper for you. She says she's keeping her ring on. She's still communicating with him. This man has violated you and cheated on you. Why are you still trying to communicate with him? So they're not together, but they still communicate. And we did see recently that Anthony was just arrested for having cocaine on him. Check out, according to Amber's channel, she's got all the details. I will be sure to add that to the description after this live so that everybody can see it, to understand that. But child, I hope that she stays away. No matter how shallow and materialistic Sheree is, nobody deserves to get their hands put on them or cheated on or anything like that. You know, if you feel the need to cheat, that means you need to leave or take a pause from the relationship. Go to therapy. Speak about what it is that causes you to want to cheat. Because as much as women be like, oh, there's no excuse to cheat, there's not. But there's also something that someone feels they're not getting in a relationship to do so. People not just cheating to cheat all the time. As much as y'all want to be mad and not hear that, if you don't like what I'm saying, just look up psychological statistics, which I'm trained in. And people don't just cheat to cheat. There's usually something they're missing or trying to fulfill, whether it's from you, from a parent, whatever the hell. So that's what happened with them. So let's get to the last couple of this finale episode, season 5 episodes. I believe this was episodes 11 and 12, but they put them in one. We're going to go over Renika and Asante. I don't know why they wasted their fucking time. Renika and Asante have not been on our television for multiple episodes, for weeks, because we knew from the very beginning that the relationship wasn't going to work. But this is the example of a dumb ratchet broad that never learns. So I said in the beginning of my recaps on life during lockup, love during lockup, I said women like Renika don't understand that their actions are not attractive to men. Calling him bruh, giving your personalities names, I'm Diva Nika, this and that. You know, she's just not cute. All her clothes are too big. Her wigs are fucked up. Pretty girl. She's just too ratchet. That's not attractive. No dude wants to be called bruh by their girl. That's not attractive at all. So She claims she's focusing on her kids and career, finally. And we see that Asante has gotten his own house, and he says that he's doing good. He has a new girlfriend. He is not with the auntie no more, but he does still talk to her. Oh, it sounds like my husband got an achievement on the game. Congrats. I could hear it from there. Anywho, he has a new girlfriend. He's not with auntie no more. Renika does have her family come to visit. They're cooking food, and the whole family has really bad wigs. I don't understand. They're not unattractive people, but the wigs just ruin it for me. So Renika is saying that Asante's still her man and that they built a bond. Bitch, you ain't built no bond and you dumb as bricks, and it proves it. What bond could you build with a man that you only talk to on an iPhone in prison showing pictures of your body? Y'all had sex once. He nutted in you and dipped in the middle of the night and never came back. Your friend had to hire a private investigator. And then you catch him in the act in a hotel room paid for by the other hoe, and he's not even that sorry. What bond did you build? If that's what her idea of a bond is, then she's not going to find love. Something's wrong with her. She needs help. Anywho, somehow she ends up on the phone with Asante. I guess they FaceTime each other, and she is genuinely surprised that he moved on because she's like, we got a bond. And he says to the camera, like, she's too much. She got to learn how to be quiet and do a little less. That's what turned me off. What Asante did is not right. He also stated she's drama. And yes, you can be drama. She's like, no, you're drama. Just because he cheat don't make him drama. Now, that's problematic and that's wrong. That don't make him drama. He cheated. You going off, threatening him, coming with PIs. You made drama, honey. And you can't be surprised at this man for cheating when, in my opinion, it didn't look like there was anything that deep between the two of you in the first fucking place. So she lacks accountability, and I hope that if you heterosexual female and you want to find a masculine man, you're going to have to be a little less masculine, Renika, because that's too much. Just because you make your own money doesn't mean you can't be a little more gentle for your man. But they are not together. And I think that she's slow because she was trying to do the I love yous and shit while he was at his new girlfriend's house. And he told her that, and she still wanted to talk to him. So if he does leave that girlfriend to be with you or talk to you, what make you think he not going to cheat on you with another bitch? That's what he did. Because Asante is passed on. He is no longer living. He is deceased. So, condolences to all who cared for him. I guess before they passed, she remained friends with him. I don't think she was really his friend. I don't know. I don't think they had a connection. All I'll say is she's slow and she's dumb. And listen, people do what you allow them to do, and he did that. So that is my recap of this season of Love After Lockup, season 5. This will be the last recap for Love After Lockup. But next Friday, or this upcoming Friday, December 1st, we will have Life After Lockup premiering, which is like this show, but we see the couples when they've been together while they're trying to live their lives. I know that we'll see Quaylin and Chevelle's nasty asses. We'll see, I believe, Brittany and Q Rock, Louis and Melissa. There's a couple couples that we will see on there, so it should be interesting. I will be recapping that. I will be sure to post a flyer to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'll be sure to post a flyer everywhere. We will be back next Saturday. I genuinely appreciate everybody for supporting these Love and Life and Love during whatever the hell these lockup recaps. It means a lot. They are some of my highest viewed recaps. I appreciate that. I am a new channel. I am growing. So just by you watching, just by you liking the video, that does help me out a great deal. What we are going to do, because I always end my lives with music, is we're going to end our live listening to the music of Oh So Best, my husband and Oakland, California rapper. I hope that everybody tunes in next week. And I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope you enjoy your weeks. We will be back for another recap this Tuesday for the family Chantel, and we will have a lot happening this week. We are back to normal schedules. Other than that, I appreciate you all and hope you have a good night. Enjoy thy slaps of Oh So Best.
Just like 1, 2, 3rd. Everything I say, I verb. Oh yeah, that's for sure. It smells so good. I pop the bean. Well, I used to. Used to pop the dizzle wiggles on the house roof. I was so on. Slapping my Mac tray. You get smacked if you turn down the Mac. Look, I popped the bean. Well, I used to. Yeah, used to pop the dizzle wiggles on the house roof. I was so on. Slapping my Mac tray. You get smacked if you turn down the. Buy me a dope pair of tea and I'm looking coke in it. Got some Florida orange. I might throw the dope in it. That lady who's naked, who lay on the pill. I'm feeling myself all in Oakland here. Now the view looking gorgeous. Made Papa another be lit at the Warrior. King with his queen, so indeed I'm a spoiler. Give to 2 pairs and some him, fuck the water. Back when I was young, I paid mamas, no daughters. All mamas I slaughtered. These beats I go harder. These haters stay mad at me like absent fathers. Oh, I stay in me lane, so niggas can move. I only make cyphers where booties can move. Pop one cheek, thought another other two. You good girls, pop your shit on your hubby. Thought I really shut that ass out of my pub. Oh, yeah, I popped the bean. Well, I used to. Used to pop the dizzle wiggles on the house roof. I was so on. Slapping my Mac tray. You get smacked if you turn down the Mac. Look, I popped the bean. Well, I used to. Yeah, used to pop the dizzle wiggles on the house roof. I was so on. Slapping my Mac tray. You get smacked if you turn down the. Oh, yeah. Well, I want to bird. Everything I say, I bird. Oh, yeah. Well, I have to sure. Nigga, that's my word. Oh, yeah. Well, I want to bird. Everything I say, I bird. Oh, yeah. Well, I have to sure. Nigga, that's my word.